Hey everyone, we were able to take a great trip to Rhodes and Crete, Greece through Gate 1 travel. We had 6 days on the mainland in Greece and 4 days on a cruise to the Greek islands. This video is actually of the cruise from day 3 and 4. Now first off, we'll start with Rhodes, Greece. Now when they told us we were stopping at Rhodes, Greece, I had never heard of it and I thought it was going to be kind of a boring, nothing stop, but this actually was not anything like that. This stop had a wall built all the way around the city. It had beautiful rock tiles throughout the sidewalks and it was right by the water and it was crystal clear. You could see to the bottom of it.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside.
So our tour guide on the cruise ship told us exactly where to go. He told us it would be easy to find. So we went into the second entrance of the wall and we found some ancient ruins. And then it was just streets and streets of souvenir shops and all kinds of little goodies. Now, all the vendors we came across in this town were very friendly and very welcoming. They seemed to be very pleasant people. You would have a few vendors out in the street trying to encourage you to come to their restaurants, especially to get your business. But we really weren't hassled by any of these vendors. It was very laid back. They were very professional looking shops and their prices were actually pretty fair. Almost all the little shops were just down one street, so you really couldn't get lost. And they had a little bit of a variety for everyone. Clothes and toys and souvenirs and leather goods and metal statues. We found a little bit of everything there.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true.
Now, I love toys myself, and I own a toy museum, so of course I was attracted to this store. It was called Hans and Gretel. Now, it wasn't a toy store, it was actually a candy and ice cream store, but it was amazing. I know I did too much video on this place and I spent too much time in there, but it was almost like Disneyland or Disney World. Everything was just spectacular and professional. Giant candies hanging from the wall, witch statues. That she's not scary at all, even though she eats children, right? I don't know what these hollow pastries were called, but they kind of tasted like a donut. They were covered in different sprinkles and candies or chocolate, and you would get one and they would just shove it full of ice cream and then load it down with toppings.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move.
Of course, yours truly had to get a picture with the Candy Witch. And then our friend Jane, she actually bought some of that delicious ice cream. And here's a picture of all of us in the store with the employee dressed as maybe like a Swiss maid or something, a German maid. She was nice to take a picture with all of us. Then we went back out to the streets and the restaurant had a little parrot you could take a picture with. So we just walked around a little bit more and shopped and just lived in the moment and took in all the sights and just enjoyed being on vacation in Greece.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true.
Of course, I had to spy on all my friends. Ray is in a leather shop. He loves bags, and I know he's going to buy one of those bags. And then my friend Jane and Lori, they were in this little linen shop looking around. And I think they bought a couple treasures too. I like to film everybody and kind of see what they're doing, but I don't like to be on camera as much at all. I think I like to be behind the camera. Now, they told us to walk down to see some more ancient sites, but of course, I saw a cat and we had to take a picture. I love these cats. They are everywhere and they're always going to get my attention. So we just walked a little further down and we walked through the wall. They had entrances where you can go to different parts of the town. We saw this seashell vendor that was rocking on a ship you could buy items from. All of the cruise ships parked right at the port, so it was hardly a walk at all to get to the main part of the city. It's very convenient, very easy. Now, some of the tours we took and some of the stops we made had tons and tons of stairs, but not this one. Now, they told us they had 2 deer statues at the port, and we had to go see those. So we walked down there to see them, and I think I could have just seen a postcard with those on it. They really weren't that impressive, but we can say we at least saw them. Here's a better picture of what it looked like. We did find a Starbucks. I know a lot of you out there like to see those different Starbucks throughout the different cities, and then just filmed a little more of those amazing rocks along the sidewalks that were so nice. They were just everywhere. It really made this town unique. Then it was time to go back to the cruise ship. I think we stayed about 3 or 4 hours shopping around, and we were back on the ship in time for tea, which was little desserts and soda and coffees and teas. Then we went back to the room and it was time for dinner before we knew it. Now at dinner, they always have a lot of selections and you're definitely going to find something you like to eat. Now I found on this ship, they had one side that was mainly your classic dinner foods. Then the other side had like pizza and hamburgers and hot dogs. So they had something for everyone, no matter what you like to eat. Because I'm a very picky eater, but I found plenty. I loaded my plate down. And when I got home, I actually was dreading getting on the scales to see, but I only gained like 4.5 pounds on that cruise after eating all that food. So I call that successful. But you do walk around a lot on this trip, so you do get to burn off a lot of the calories that you consume. We went back to our room and they always give us a little towel animal on our bed, kind of like Carnival cruises do, but theirs were a little bit cooler. So after a good night's sleep, it was time for our next stop the next day to Crete, Greece. Now we got off the ship here and it looked like mainly a downtown city type of scenery, and we were a little bit confused where to go. But down on the sidewalk, it does have an arrow that points to the city center. So we just followed that street and we eventually did come to the downtown area. Now, we got there really early and a lot of things were closed, and they told us to go up to the main part and we would see a fountain. We got to the fountain and of course it was off. It was a little too early, but the stores were just starting to open here and there, and the longer we stayed, the more stores opened. So we just started looking around to see the different unique things we could find, and we like to take a lot of pictures, so we videotaped everything and took a lot of selfies, and we're just trying to find something to do. So we were about to give up, and then look, up here on top of this little canopy, I found a cat. So we decided to start making our way back to the ship, walking downhill. We could see the water, and we found a couple of shops open. I found this really cool little jellyfish sculpture I ended up buying for 13 euros. I thought that was a really good deal from an artist. It had a lot of shells. Went to some more different stores where you always find bags of olives. They're usually about 7 to 8 euros a bag. And then we went to a couple more stores. This store had a lot of cute little cabinets and drawers and doorknobs. Had these cool little padlocks. I like finding unique things at stores. Like this one had just tons and tons of olive soap, and you could smell the different scents. And I think we bought everybody some soap to bring home. But for us, everyone's different. We enjoy going into all the little shops and the souvenir stores just to see if we can find something different. And that's the fun part. When you come home, you have a bag full of junk you don't need, but it helps you to remember your trip. Now, I think we just got to Crete too early, because on our way out, when all the stores started to open, we really started finding some really cute stuff that made it a lot more fun there. on our way back to the cruise ship, we walked past the marina just because the water was so pretty and blue, and we could see these little fish just swimming in schools together everywhere. We hadn't hardly seen any fish on the trip, and this marina was just loaded with them. It was very pretty. The water was so blue. They had a couple little spots you could take pictures. It's just a very, very pretty sight to see on the way back to the ship. Now in Crete, we really didn't stay there very long. Now when we got back on the ship, we had this mannequin waiting on us to greet us when we came in. And then here's a picture of my greatest find in Crete, these cat pillows. Since we've been seeing cats everywhere, I thought it was the perfect gift. We got back on the ship and Gate 1 had a meeting we had to attend with some free juice that was delicious. And then we had another fantastic dinner. Well, thanks so much for watching. I've only got one more video to make of our trip, and that's our final afternoon on the cruise, and that was in Santorini.